So what I'm going to talk about now is you looked at the square face and you've got an idea of where the basic placement of different parts of the face go, general proportions, what connects with what lines up with what. So now I'm going to take that knowledge that you've gained and we're going to apply it to something that looks more like a head. So if you practice your square face and you kind of know where everything is, this will be the next logical step, which is actually putting it on something that looks more like a head. So the best way to demonstrate how to use your placement knowledge is that we're going to start off with a sphere, and we're not going to do it straight on. We're going to do it from actually kind of an angle. What you need to do is decide the direction your character is going to be looking in. So if my character is looking off this way, then I'm going to have my line also going this way. Now notice I'm not doing a simple up and down line. What I'm actually doing is I'm curving the line around the sphere. Isn't a flat circle, it's a sphere. And as that happens, we have to go around the sphere, okay? So now I have the direction I'm looking in. And I want to go and I want to split this up to about the halfway point. So I'm going to do this, but I'm also going to go around it the same way. I'm doing a curved line around. I'm doing a straight line because the character is looking. The head is split into about 3 thirds, and they're about the same size. And so I need another third here. And so what you can do is you can just draw a line straight down, okay, until you feel like that's about a third, another third, okay? Now this is just, what we're doing here is an average, sort of your standard starting point. When you get to points where you need to actually start exaggerating, this will change. One of the things I want to do here is first let's draw a line here. This will also be curved. This is where our eye is going to go. Now remember, this is our shelf, our little protector. Okay. And then our eyes are going to fit in here. We're going to come up with a size of an eye. And so we're going to kind of draw it in the middle of this line. Okay. So we know this one's going to come over here. Now here's the thing. Since we're going to turn things, that's going to make everything, we have to worry about perspective and other issues like that. But let's just know, I'm just showing this as a for instance. So what I actually want to do is, before we get to worrying about that so much, I want to put in here, here's about where my nose is going to go. Okay. My mouth is about right there. That makes that like my chin. Okay. So I'm going to take this. Oh, first, we also want to cut off this section right here, kind of flatten it out, because the head does not look like that. If you look at it from straight on, it doesn't look like that. Okay. It actually kind of flattens out on the side here. And you got to take that flatten out, but you have to flatten out the circle here. Okay. And we'll draw a line to bisect that where it's a straight line. Now then, remember, I want to take for my mouth, edges of my mouth, I want to go about 45 degrees. So we're going to need our eyes. So I'm going to put I1 and I2. Okay, and then I3. All right, we'll make sure that's all kind of lined up correctly. Here's the nose. Okay, the nose, you put a little circle there. because that's going to give us kind of a volume that we can draw over. And then the middle of the eye, bring it down. Okay, remember this is our square face. All right, so this is going to be about my mouth. So I want to take about 45-degree angle. Okay, and that's going to tell me where I can start having the jaw start to turn. And the nice thing about this is that sometimes you can get kind of your, especially where your cheekbones are going to be. Now the chin sticks out a little bit. It's actually kind of juts forward. So even though I can draw in like that, I also want to make sure I get that chin in there. Now, people are going to look different depending on who they are. But, okay. As you flatten that out, we kind of change our curve here to make it to a straight line. We have this straight line going here. We have curving, and then we have straight line here. Well, and this is where our ear is. Our ear is going to be right in here. Okay. All right. Now, the back of the head has to come out a little bit more. All right, because the skull is there. The head doesn't. The head isn't flat back here. We need to show a little more of it. Okay. So this is the brow. Okay, this is the hairline right here. And draw this around. And it comes down. And here we've got our first head. Okay, I've got my circle. I'm going to look this way this time. I'm drawing in my lines that are my curved lines. Okay. Bring this straight down. Okay. Now this is important because this gives me my perspective. So it tells me kind of like, we'll talk about perspective later on, but this is going to help me identify my perspective marks. Go ahead and cut that off. So now this is kind of curve, and then it goes straight back. This is changing of the planes I talked about. And then this line here goes straight down. Okay. All right. This bottom of the sphere represents the bottom of the nose. Okay. And it's going around. Okay. And then it kind of goes back here. We're going to have our ear about right there. So, okay. Sometimes what I'll do as a shortcut is I'll decide the kind of where my nose is going to be. And that's going to tell me how wide my eyes are going to be. So here's my nose, and I'll make my eyes about as wide. Now here's the thing is that when you're turning the head, you'll notice the nose starts covering up more of the eye. Although this eye looks very close to the nose, there's still the same distance between them. It's just that the perspective gives you kind of the sense that the eye is crept in, but that's actually pretty normal. Right here, I've drawn the nose up to this point. Now I'm going to draw kind of like a little Y part here. And this is actually, if you look at your own, you'll notice it goes to about right there, which is kind of around about the top of the eye, I guess. She raises up a little bit if you want to, but then it kind of comes out. And when this starts off, this is the occipital bone here, right? This is the part of the, this is where the skeleton actually protects your eyes here. And you've got, of course, your cheekbones. Okay. But now that we have this, now our mouths are also going to curve around a little bit. Okay, that becomes there. We're going to go in at kind of a 45-degree angle. And so it almost looks like here, there is no real switch, but there is. Okay, and then you can see here. If you want to, you can draw a straight line across. That kind of tells you where it's going to start coming in at. So this tells you how to draw the jawline. And then I'm going to jut out my, all right, you should do this as a circle. Chin. Okay. Here's my hairline. It's going back and down. That cuts in. Draw our eyebrows. Okay. All right, so what does this look like when we ink it? After we draw over it a little bit, we'll go ahead and ink that real quick. Brush a little bit smaller there. Okay. Eyebrow is in sort of a neutral face. The eyebrows over the bone here, but it's also but that's where the bone is. But there are actually muscles and skin. Oh, excuse me. There's muscle and skin over that, which is what allows us to, you know, move our eyebrows around. So even though it may start here, it can become more dynamic. So here it's got a regular one, but then I could even do something like that. Okay. This is what I do. I'll do a how to draw the nose video as well. This one's pretty straight. Curves in over here. Here's the eye socket. This comes down. This is kind of fast, so we can, you know, move it, you know, waiting forever. And one thing that I've learned, I've seen other videos where this is talked about, is that when it comes to like the eye. I mean, not the eye, but the mouth. You can look at this area here, and it gives you an idea of kind of what the mouth is going to look like because you're turning the head, your lip juts out, right? And then over here, it's gonna be this part comes down here, and it could actually, if you wanted to, it would kind of go over here like that if you wanted. Bum, bum, bum. I didn't really throw in a fancy haircut. We can do hair tutorial different day. Just give them like a very short crop hair, like he's almost like pretty much buzzed. And I'd actually, if I was actually inking this seriously, I go and worry about these kind of thick here. And there's a lot of things I would fix. This eye, which has gotten turned around and that tilted at least. Bring that down a little bit. So this is just a quick demonstration on how to turn the head.